I'm Julie Whites. Hi, Liz. I have a question. You introduced House Joint Resolution 44, which will block implementation of BLM 2.0, and you stated on your website, the action marks the culmination of work by numerous Western organizations. You listed the organizations. They include Americans for Prosperity, the Petroleum Association of Wyoming, the Independent Petroleum Association, the National Mining Association. The organizations I did not see on your list of supporters for Killing 2.0 included fishing, wildlife hunting, nature, or conservation groups. And my question for you is, why are you more interested in supporting Americans for Prosperity than you are in supporting Trout Unlimited in regard to Western lands? Why is the National Mining Association's opinion more important than that of the Nature Conservancy in regard to Western lands? Thank you.
Representative Cheney, my name is Brad Mormon and I live in Sheridan. I have heard you talk about the beauty of Wyoming's public lands and the importance of protecting our air and our water. Despite these statements, you and your fellow colleagues in Congress vote to limit public input concerning public lands, allow mine waste to be dumped into our streams, get anti-public lands positions into the Republican Party platform, and vote to allow unnecessary methane venting, flaring, and waste. I believe actions speak louder than words. Your words say you respect public lands and air and water. Your actions say something entirely different. My question is this: when are you going to support what your constituents want and introduce legislation that protects our public lands, our air, and our water? Thank you.
I'm a registered voter in Sheridan County, and I am extending an invitation to you to speak at a town hall meeting with some of your constituents here from Sheridan County. My question to you here today, as a newly elected official to the state of Wyoming, will you be standing with your colleagues in the House of Representatives to dismantle the Affordable Care Act? And if so, what is it you plan to replace it with to cover the 22 million people in this country that are now covered by it? Secondly, if your agenda is to unravel entitlement programs that are so important to so many, particularly us senior citizens that have worked over 50 years to be eligible, will Medicare and Social Security be the next programs to be headed to the butcher block? Thank you, Representative Cheney, for your ear, and I hope to see you to discuss some of the other many issues facing this country and the state of Wyoming, including education justice, reproductive rights, and public lands in Wyoming that are under attack.
Hi, Representative Cheney. My name is Dawn Socker, and I'm a registered voter in Sheridan County. I'm a public land user. The repeal of planning of 2.0 will not benefit me. Who will benefit from the repeal of planning 2.0 and how? My family lives in Wyoming for a reason. Our public lands is one of the biggest reasons. Despite strong support for public lands in Wyoming, why have you decided to spend your first month in office working to remove the public's voice from decisions being made that impact our public lands? Public lands belong to the citizens of the United States, not to the oil and gas industry. The state of Wyoming clearly does not have the money to manage public lands, so how can you assure me you won't sell them into private hands?
Hi, Liz Cheney. My name is Carrie Paninos, and I live here in Banner, Wyoming, just outside of Sheridan. And I think that Planning 2.0 is a well-thought-out initiative to strengthen and improve the BLM's ability to manage our public lands. Your disapproval resolution to steamroll it out of existence is also well thought out, not necessarily by you, but by the oil and gas industry you are beholden to. You say Planning 2.0 is just a federal power grab. I say your disapproval resolution is also a power grab. The difference being the federal government extends that power to me, and your resolution actually takes that power away from me. I cannot deny that the oil and gas industry has benefited Wyoming immensely, and you cannot deny that they have also caused terrible and irreversible damage for some of our families and ranchers and the land they live on. And that is why we need the BLM to establish better land management planning processes, why we need more oversight in our local and state government, more transparency in the process, and more involvement from all the stakeholders. That is exactly what Planning 2.0 gives us. Do not take that away from us. Thank you.
Keep public lands in federal ownership. Do not transfer them to the state. Allow us the right to protest. I am a Wyoming citizen. Thank you.
Hi, Representative Cheney. My name is Susie Mormon, and I'm from Sheridan. And we now have a head of the Department of Education that's made it her life's mission to destroy public ed. And I know that a voucher system would kill our schools in rural Wyoming. So what are you going to do to ensure we protect our public schools and guarantee we maintain our state's educational excellence?
Hi, Liz Cheney. I'm Amber Hansen. I'm here today to ask you, how do you reconcile your supposed belief in states' rights with your draconian Insurance Full Disclosure Act that would interfere with medical decisions that should be left to a citizen and her doctor?
Hi, Liz Cheney. My name is Carrie Paninos, and I live here in Banner, Wyoming, just outside of Sheridan. And I think that Planning 2.0 is a well-thought-out initiative to strengthen and improve the BLM's ability to manage our public lands. Your disapproval resolution to steamroll it out of existence is also well thought out, not necessarily by you, but by the oil and gas industry you are beholden to. You say Planning 2.0 is just a federal power grab. I say your disapproval resolution is also a power grab. The difference being the federal government extends that power to me, and your resolution actually takes that power away from me. I cannot deny that the oil and gas industry has benefited Wyoming immensely, and you cannot deny that they have also caused terrible and irreversible damage for some of our families and ranchers and the land they live on. And that is why we need the BLM to establish better land management planning processes, why we need more oversight in our local and state government, more transparency in the process, and more involvement from all the stakeholders. That is exactly what Planning 2.0 gives us. Do not take that away from us. Thank you.
Hi, Representative Cheney. This is Gail Laurent. I live in Sheridan, Wyoming. I want to know why you voted to hand control of 18 million acres of my public land over to industry and a few county commissioners so that it can be squandered in secret. Public lands are that. They're public for the benefit of all, the people, all of us. How do you justify this? Thanks.
Hi, Liz Cheney. My name is Brad Mormon, and I would like to ask you what you are going to do to step in and stand up to our administration, who is right now waging an all-out war on the First Amendment and our freedom of press. Freedom of press is a cornerstone and a bedrock of a democracy. Authoritarian leaders, the first thing they do is remove the freedom of press. And right now we have a president that has called the press the enemy of the American people and is refusing media outlets into press briefings. What are you going to do to put a stop on this assault of the First Amendment? Thank you.
Hi, Representative Cheney. I'm Julie Weitz. There's so much change happening legislatively in Washington that impacts your constituents here in Wyoming. And I invite you, I implore you, have your staff schedule an open event at Sheridan College or at the high school. Give an opportunity for the people of the Sheridan area to ask questions, to voice our concerns, and let's start developing a meaningful dialogue together. So much is changing. So many of us are concerned. Let's talk. It's our democracy. Let's do this right.
Hello, Representative Cheney. My name is Josh Hansen, and I'm a registered voter here in Sheridan County. And I would just like to ask you about some claims that you made about the Obama administration and their vetting of refugees being just lies. I was wondering if you had any concrete evidence that refugees are any kind of clear and present danger to the American people. And if so, we'd like to see that evidence. Thank you.
Hi, Representative Cheney. I'm Gail Laurent, and I live here in Sheridan, Wyoming, and I would love to see you in person. I'd love to have a town hall here. But in the meantime, I just wanted to know why you voted to weaken Title X funding in Wyoming. Title X supports local reproductive health clinics in Wyoming. If these clinics cease to exist, women who cannot or do not go for various reasons will have to go to mainstream doctors for health care. They will die, or they will not get the contraception needed to plan their family, costing the towns and cities of Wyoming much more than the funding you do not support. Without Title X, access to high quality family planning services for low-income Wyoming residents would not be possible. So again, how do you justify this?
Hi, Representative Cheney. My name is Dawn Soprin. I live in Sheridan County. How can you support torture despite its moral indefensibility and its proven failure at attaining solid intelligence? Is torture one of your family values? It's not a family value here in Sheridan County.
Go.
My name is Sarah Haight. I am a veteran and a constituent of yours from Sheridan, Wyoming. I'm a little dismayed that you have yet to make any sort of a town hall meeting for your constituents that includes all your constituents, not those who have contributed to your campaign in any way. And also, I'm kind of confused how you can consider yourself a pro-life candidate and stand up for family values when you're also pro-torture and you don't support your own family, who your sister merely wants the same rights you do and being able to live a happy life with her partner. So I'm interested on your feelings and your thoughts on that. Thank you very much.
Hey Liz Cheney, are you afraid of what your constituents have to say?